My wife said I sacrificed. I replied, "You gave up the truth, not me." Then I copied taxes, pulled phone records, froze the shared card, opened my own account, and filed for temporary custody. I let the judge hear her lies and waited because the verdict would change everything. Original post: I am 38, male. My wife, Elizabeth, is 36. We had been together 10 years, married for 8. We have 2 kids, a 9-year-old son named Owen and a 6-year-old daughter named Maya. We live in a modest house near Columbus. I work in municipal IT, steady hours, good benefits, not exciting. Elizabeth always told a story about herself. She said she had been a senior brand manager before the kids. She said she left that career to support mine and raise the family. She wore that story like armor. It came up when we argued about money. It came up when she talked to friends. It always ended with, "I sacrificed." A year ago, small things started to feel off. She had more late nights with the old team. She said she was consulting. She took calls in the car. She locked her laptop when I walked by. She asked for a separate credit card for work expenses and did not show receipts. I can live with secrets if they have a reason. I could not find the reason. When she fell asleep one night on the couch, her phone lit up. A message preview said, "Dinner was worth the wait." It was from a number saved as M. The contact photo was a beach, no face. I did not open the phone. I felt my body go cold and quiet. I went upstairs, sat at the desk, and opened our taxes. I pulled W-2s from the last 5 years. I looked for any income in her name from the brand world. There was none. Just a small $1,099 from a craft fair she ran once. Then I checked her LinkedIn. It said Senior Brand Director, 8 years. The company listed was real. The dates overlapped with all the years she said she was home with the kids. I checked the company's website. No sign of her on the old team page. I used the Wayback Machine to check older versions. Still nothing. One framed diploma in our hallway had always looked odd. The seal was printed, not embossed. I ran the school's alumni lookup. Her name did not appear. My stomach sank in a steady way. No panic, just gravity. I took photos of the diploma and the LinkedIn page. I saved copies of the tax returns. I printed phone records for the shared plan. A number labeled M showed up late at night, 3 or 4 times a week. Hotels near the highway were in the charges on the new card. I did not wake her. I did not accuse. I made coffee, sat at the table, and typed "family law attorney" near me. I booked a consultation for the next afternoon. That was my first action, not a fight. A folder. Update 1, the lawyer's office was small. A fern in the corner, certificates on the wall. He listened while I laid out the pieces, the fake resume, the phone records, the new card, the message from M, the kids. He asked calm questions. Did she ever hit me? No. Did I ever hit her? No. Did we have a prenup? No. How much did I earn? Enough to keep the house and pay the bills. He read the copies and tapped his pen. If she is claiming full custody and alimony on the grounds she gave up a high-earning career, these records matter, he said. The court looks at truth. If she lied about work and has other relationships, that hits credibility. Start documenting everything with dates. What about the kids? I asked. Keep routines, he said. School, appointments, activities. Do not blow up their lives. If you separate, ask for temporary orders. Do not leave the house unless you must. Do not get baited. I went home with a list. I told myself to wait for proof before a confrontation. Proof came sooner than I thought. 2 nights later, Elizabeth said she was meeting old colleagues for a late dinner. She left in a black dress I had never seen. I watched the door close and stood in the quiet. I drove to the restaurant she named. I parked across the street. There was no company dinner. There was Elizabeth at a table for 2, holding hands with a man I had seen once at a school fundraiser. He was the new assistant principal. His name was Mark, married. I took a photo, not a tabloid shot. A clear picture of 2 people who forgot the world exists. I drove home. I put the kids to bed. When Elizabeth came in, I was at the kitchen table with the folder. How was dinner? I asked. Loud, she said. Good to catch up. Which team? I asked. The brand team you never worked on or the assistant principal you met at school? She froze, then she did what she always did. She moved fast. "Why are you spying?" she said. "This is controlling. I had a life before you." I slid the photo across the table. Her face changed. Then I slid the LinkedIn printout, then the phone records. Then the alumni lookup. Her mouth opened, closed. She reached for the fake diploma on the shelf, stared at it, and set it down like it burned. "I left that job before the company listed me," she said weakly. "They never listed you at all," I said. "You never worked there. Our taxes say you did not. You told everyone you did. You made me the villain for not funding a fake sacrifice." She sat. Her hands shook. "I could have had a career," she said. "I chose us." "You lied," I said, "and you slept with other people while lying." "I was lonely," she said. "You work late. You sit at that laptop." Mark understood. I kept my voice even. "I am asking you one thing," I said. "Do you want to fix this or do you want to fight?" She looked at me with a kind of tired anger. "I want the kids," she said, "and I want alimony. I gave up everything." "No," I said. "You gave up the truth." I stood. "I am moving to the guest room," I said. "Tomorrow I will file for temporary orders. If you have any more stories, save them for court." She tried a last swing. "If you take my kids, I will tell the judge you are cold," she said, "that you are absent, that you never supported me." "I will bring the records," I said. "We will let the judge decide." Update 2 the next week moved in clean lines. My lawyer filed for divorce and temporary custody. We asked for a home study, school letters, and a guardian ad litem. We requested her financial records and proof of work history. He said the words that calmed me most. "Let the process do the heavy lifting," he said. I opened a new bank account in my name. I moved my direct deposit. I froze the shared card and paid off the balance. I left a paper note on the counter with the split of the checking account down the middle. I sent an email with the same numbers. Elizabeth erupted online. She posted a long note about a husband who hates stay-at-home moms and men who punish women for sacrifice. She added a photo of the kids at the park and said she needed prayers for a custody fight. I said nothing online. I collected screenshots. Mark's wife, Anna, found me on Facebook. She sent a simple message. "I saw your name in his call logs," she wrote. "I am sorry, I did not know who the woman was. Now I do." I asked if she needed my lawyer's name. She said yes. 2 days later, the school district called Mark in. "The code of conduct is strict in our county. His position matters." He took leave. By the end of the month, he resigned. Elizabeth cycled through stories. She said I made up the LinkedIn page to smear her. She said she had a private degree the school could not verify for security reasons. She said I was turning the kids against her. I kept routines. Owen's soccer, Maya's dance, homework at the table, baths at 8. In the mornings, I packed lunches and wrote the dates on sticky notes. When I felt like shouting, I cleaned the sink. At the temporary orders hearing, the judge asked simple questions. "Miss Hart, do you have records of your past employment?" he asked. She said she left the documents at her mother's house. "Bring them to the next hearing," he said. "Today, we will keep the kids in their home with their school routines. You will have parenting time on set days." She glared. I did not look at her. After court, she posted again about a system that hates mothers. She got sympathy from people who did not know us. The ones who did went quiet. A month later, discovery came due. My lawyer sent me an email with a folder of her documents. There were gaps. The resume looked like it had been written last week. The dates did not match the school calendar. A reference number bounced. We subpoenaed the listed company. The reply was short. "We have no record of this person ever being employed here." The same day, Anna filed for divorce from Mark. Her petition cited adultery with my wife. She CC'd our judge. The cases do not merge, but judges talk. Patterns appear. At the custody hearing, our guardian ad litem spoke in a calm voice. "The children are bonded to both parents," she said. However, the mother's instability and dishonesty have created confusion. "The father has provided consistent care and routines. I recommend primary custody to the father, with the mother on a structured schedule and a requirement for counseling." Elizabeth's lawyer tried to find holes. "Isn't he trying to alienate the children?" he asked. No, the guardian said. He has encouraged time with their mother. He has not spoken badly of her in front of them. I asked both kids separately. They reported normal days at Dad's house and more chaos at Mom's apartment. The judge took notes. He looked tired. Miss Hart, he said, you claimed a career you did not have and you engaged in multiple relationships outside the marriage. That goes to credibility. This court will not punish a parent for working. It will act when one parent lies and destabilizes the children. He awarded me primary custody. He set child support at a modest amount based on her real income from part-time retail work. He denied alimony. Elizabeth cried in the hall after, not loud, just small. She called me a thief. I did not reply. I went home and told the kids only what mattered. You will spend school weeks here, I said. You will see Mom on the days the court picked. You did nothing wrong. You are loved. They nodded. Owen asked if soccer would change. I said no. Meyer asked if the dog would still sleep on her bed. I said yes. That night I slept for the first time in months without waking. Update 3, a few weeks later, Elizabeth asked to talk. I agreed, but not at the house. We met at the library near the children's section. People shelved books nearby. It felt safe. She looked tired, less makeup, hair pulled back, no performance. I want to fix this, she said. I want to start over. I want to co-parent well, I said. I do not want to be married to you. Tears formed, but her voice stayed normal. I know I lied, she said. I was ashamed. I wanted to look better. I wanted to have the life I told everyone I had. You could have told the truth, I said. You could have worked part-time and said you were doing your best. You did not need to sleep with other people. She nodded. I kept thinking I would get caught up later, she said. One more story, then I would make it real. It snowballed. We will keep the schedule, I said. We will not use the kids to pass messages. Everything will be in the app, pickups and drop-offs at school, no surprises. Can we have holidays together for them, she asked. Maybe dinner. No, I said. Not this year, maybe later if trust grows, she blinked. So that is it, she said. There is no chance of us. No, I said. I care about you as the mother of my children. That is where it ends. She looked at the fish tank near the desk. Little orange bodies looped around fake plants. I will go to therapy, she said. I already started. I know that does not fix it. I am telling you because you asked me to work on myself. I am glad, I said. For the kids. We ended the talk there. At pickup that Friday, she stuck to the plan. She was on time. The kids came back with drawings and library books. No gifts meant to buy forgiveness. That felt like a start. Final update, it has been 18 months since the judge's order. The story that used to fill every corner of my day is now just part of the house we live in. The first year was hard. Owen had stomach aches before exchanges. Maya got quiet on Sunday nights. I told them simple truths. 2 homes can still be safe, I said. Grown-ups make choices. We made different ones. You did not cause this. Elizabeth stumbled at first. She missed a pickup. She posted a vague line about a broken system and took it down an hour later. The next month, she started bringing a planner. She set alarms. She asked the school for copies of calendars. She stopped telling stories to strangers. Mark moved away. I heard he tried to start over in another district. Anna stayed and built a calmer life. She sent a short note once. It said, "Thank you for telling the truth." My kids needed that. At home, we found a new rhythm. Mornings are cereal and lost shoes. Evenings are homework and a checklist on the fridge. Owen scored his first goal and said it felt like flying. Maya drew a dog in a superhero cape and said it was our dog because he saves socks. Money stopped being a fight. I track budgets without hiding my screen. When something breaks, I fix it or replace it. I sleep. Elizabeth asked for a change last winter. She had kept to the plan for 6 months. She brought proof from her counselor. The guardian agreed to a small increase in her time. The judge signed it. It did not hurt the kids to say yes to that. It helped them. She did something I did not expect. At a school conference, she told the teacher, "I lied a lot during the divorce. I am working on that. If I mess up, please tell both of us." She did not look at me when she said it. She looked at the floor. It still mattered. Owen asked me once, "Dad, why did Mom say she had a big job if she did not?" She wanted to feel important, I said. She forgot she was already important because she is your mom. Is she in trouble? He asked. She got some consequences, I said. Now she is trying to do better. Meyer asked, are you mad at mom? I was, I said. Now I am just careful. They nodded like kids do when the answer makes enough sense to move on. This spring, we put away winter coats. I cleaned the hallway shelf where the fake diploma used to hang. For a while, I kept it there to remind myself what lies can do, then I put it in a box in the basement. The wall looks better without it. Truth changed court orders and bank splits. It also changed smaller things, like the tone in my house. Like how Owen narrates his day without waiting to see whose side he should take. Like how Maya does not hide papers because she thinks adults will get upset. People ask about revenge in stories like this. Mine looked like paperwork. It looked like stamps and signatures and a quiet folder that grew heavy. It looked like telling the truth, then letting the judge do his job. Elizabeth and I are not friends. We are not enemies either. We are two parents on a shared calendar trying to raise decent humans. She brings snacks to games. I sit on the other side of the bleachers. We wave. Sometimes she says, "Good job, Owen," and I say, "Thanks." Then we both walk to our cars. The kids are more resilient than I gave them credit for. They learned that homes can change shape and still hold love. They learned that lies crash hard. They learned that truth feels steady under your feet. Last week, Maya handed me a school worksheet about family. It had stick figures holding hands. Me, Owen, Maya, a dog that looked like a cloud. On the edge, a smaller figure stood near a house with a different roof. She had labeled it Mom's House. She had drawn a dotted line between the houses and wrote, "We go back and forth." "Is this okay?" she asked. I put both houses. "It is perfect," I said. She smiled and ran off to find her shoes. I stood there with the paper and thought about the first night I opened the tax files. About the cold and the quiet and the way the story I believed began to crack. The thing I keep now is not the folder of proof. It is the way the house sounds when the kids sleep. Soft, normal, honest. Truth did not fix everything. It made the ground stop moving. That is enough.